In 1989, the shocking murders of José and Kitty Menendez, a wealthy and well-known couple in Beverly Hills, California, captivated the nation. The case became even more sensational when their sons, Lyle and Erik Menendez, were arrested and charged with the brutal killings. The trial that followed garnered intense media attention, leading to endless debates on whether the brothers were cold-blooded murderers or victims of unspeakable abuse. Today, we're diving deep into the Menendez brothers' case, breaking down every major event, from the crime itself to the long and complicated legal battle that followed. We'll avoid taking sides, sticking to the cold, hard facts, and unraveling the story as it happened. On the night of August 20th, 1989, a quiet evening in the upscale Beverly Hills neighborhood turned horrific. At 722 North Elm Drive, the home of the Menendez family, someone unleashed a gruesome attack on 45-year-old entertainment executive José Menendez and his wife, 47-year-old Kitty Menendez. The couple was found shot to death in the family room. José had been shot in the head and chest, while Kitty's body was riddled with multiple shotgun wounds. The killings were undeniably brutal, suggesting overkill, especially in Kitty's case, where her face had been severely disfigured. Investigators were initially baffled, as the crime did not appear to follow the typical patterns of a home invasion. José Menendez, a Cuban immigrant, was a self-made man who had risen to become a high-powered executive in the entertainment industry. He had held prominent roles at RCA and Hertz and, at the time of his death, was the CEO of Live Entertainment, a successful video distribution company. Kitty Menendez was the matriarch of the family. A former beauty queen, she had married José in 1963, and the couple appeared to live a picture-perfect life. However, their relationship was reportedly tumultuous, with Kitty allegedly suffering from bouts of depression and alcohol abuse. The couple's lives seemed glamorous from the outside, but those close to them reported deep dysfunction within the household. The initial investigation didn't focus on Lyle and Erik Menendez, the couple's two sons. Lyle, 21 at the time, was a Princeton University student, while Erik, 18, was an aspiring tennis player. The brothers initially portrayed themselves as grief-stricken sons who had discovered their parents' bodies after returning home from a night at the movies. They seemed cooperative with police, and early suspicions centered on the possibility of a mob hit or a disgruntled business associate seeking revenge on José. However, as the investigation progressed, the brothers' behavior began to raise eyebrows. Just days after the murders, Lyle and Erik went on an extravagant spending spree, buying luxury cars, expensive clothes, and even a $1.5 million condominium. The lavish spending raised questions about their true motives, leading authorities to scrutinize the brothers more closely. As investigators dug deeper, they found no evidence to suggest the murders were tied to José's business dealings. Instead, the focus shifted toward the Menendez brothers, especially after their sudden and conspicuous change in lifestyle. The tipping point came when Erik, overwhelmed with guilt, confessed the murders to his therapist, Dr. Jerome Oziel. According to Oziel's notes, Erik had admitted that he and Lyle had planned and executed the murders of their parents. Oziel's girlfriend at the time, Judalon Smith, overheard the confession and eventually reported it to the police. This provided detectives with the breakthrough they needed. On March 8, 1990, Lyle Menendez was arrested at the family's Beverly Hills home. Erik, who had been competing in a tennis tournament in Israel, surrendered to police shortly after his brother's arrest. With both brothers in custody, authorities had to determine their motive. The prosecution initially argued that the murders were financially motivated. Despite José's wealth, it was believed that the brothers had become resentful of their father's strict control over their lives. José was known to be a demanding and authoritative figure, reportedly pushing his sons to succeed at all costs. The brothers' massive spending spree after the murders seemed to support the theory that they had killed their parents to gain control of the family fortune. However, the case took a dramatic turn when Lyle and Erik claimed a different motive: years of sexual and emotional abuse at the hands of their father, José. This defense would become the crux of the trial, leading to one of the most sensational legal battles in U.S. history. The Menendez brothers' first trial began in July 1993 and quickly became a media circus. The defense, led by attorney Leslie Abramson, argued that Lyle and Erik had killed their parents in self-defense after years of sexual, emotional, and physical abuse. They claimed that the brothers had lived in constant fear of their father and that the murders were the result of a desperate attempt to escape the abuse. Erik Menendez testified that his father had sexually abused him from the age of 6, and Lyle echoed similar claims. The defense portrayed Kitty Menendez as an enabler who had turned a blind eye to the abuse. Abramson painted a harrowing picture of a household ruled by fear and dysfunction, where the brothers felt trapped with no way out. The prosecution, on the other hand, argued that the claims of abuse were fabricated, designed to manipulate the jury's emotions and shift the focus away from the true motive, greed. They pointed to the brothers' lavish spending in the days following the murders as evidence that the killings were premeditated and financially motivated. The jury was unable to reach a unanimous verdict, leading to a mistrial in January 1994. Some jurors were convinced by the abuse claims, while others believed the brothers had killed their parents out of greed. The case was retried in 1995. In the second trial, the media coverage was more restricted, with fewer cameras allowed in the courtroom. This time, the prosecution focused heavily on discrediting the brothers' claims of abuse. They argued that the murders were premeditated and cold-blooded, citing the fact that the brothers had purchased shotguns days before the killings. The defense maintained their argument that the brothers had acted out of fear and desperation, but the emotional impact of the abuse claims was lessened in the second trial. The prosecution also pointed out that José Menendez had written his sons out of his will, suggesting that financial motivations played a significant role in the crime. In March 1996, both Lyle and Erik Menendez were convicted of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. They were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Since their conviction, Lyle and Erik Menendez have remained incarcerated. They are serving their sentences in separate prisons in California. Over the years, both brothers have spoken publicly about their case, maintaining that they acted in self-defense due to the abuse they suffered. The Menendez case continues to spark debate, with some believing that the brothers were victims of a toxic and abusive household, while others argue that their actions were motivated by greed and entitlement. The Menendez brothers case remains one of the most infamous and complex murder cases in U.S. history. It is a story filled with contradictions. Were Lyle and Erik victims, or were they cold-blooded killers? The truth likely lies somewhere in between, but what is clear is that the events of August 20, 1989, forever changed the lives of everyone involved. The Menendez case continues to be a subject of fascination, drawing attention from both the media and the public even decades later. Please don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe for more interesting videos. And don't forget to press the bell icon. I will see you guys in the next video.